Jake for the State podcast, and this is the call for every red-blooded, God-fearing, liberty-loving patriot to prepare yourself, take your position, stand your ground, and advance the cause of freedom. Let's go.
All right, guys, welcome to the Jake for the State podcast. I'm your host, Jake Merrick, and today I have a very special show. I'm excited to share with you a complete word-for-word reading of the official 2025 platform of the Oklahoma Republican Party. Now, this document represents the principles, positions, and policy priorities adopted by the Oklahoma GOP at their state convention. And it outlines exactly what the party stands for, what it stands against, on a wide range of issues that are important to our state, from family and life to education, government, elections, and more. So in an era where information can sometimes be filtered, summarized, or misinterpreted, I believe it's valuable for all Oklahomans, regardless of your political affiliation, to hear the platform directly from the source in its entirety without commentary or spin. This way, you can inform your own opinions based on the actual words. The full platform is detailed and comprehensive, so I've divided this reading into 3 parts. We'll have a 3-part series to make it easier to listen and to digest in manageable sections. Part 1 will cover the Republican principles, family, and related sections. Part 2 will continue with education, government, and economy. And part 3 will conclude with elections, national security, and the remaining planks. My goal is simple: to provide this as a transparent public resource so every Oklahoman can know precisely what the Oklahoma Republican Party has officially stated as its guiding platform for 2025. I'll now begin reading the document verbatim, starting with the title and preamble. Republican Principles. The United States of America is a constitutional republic, not a democracy. Our constitutional republic is codified within the United States Constitution, which is the supreme law of the land. Our Constitution flows directly from the Declaration of Independence and the invaluable life experiences of our founding fathers. It is not subject to the whims of democracy. Our Constitution narrowly defines the rights of the federal government, and those powers not enumerated to it are reserved to the states or the people, respectively. All efforts to redefine the United States of America as a democracy shall be resoundingly rejected by this party. We believe in limited government, individual liberty, natural rights, and personal moral responsibility. We believe Oklahoma should be a place of opportunity where people who work hard and abide by just and equally applied laws can pursue their own dreams with a reasonable expectation of success. As Republicans, we believe our rights of life, liberty, and property are natural rights granted to us by God, protected by the Constitution, to be defended by our elected officials even during a declared emergency. We believe in the free exercise of religion and right to worship as we please without government intrusion or interference. We believe God is the author and creator of life, and that all human life, both born and in the womb, should be protected. We believe in traditional marriage, the union of one man and one woman. We believe economic freedom is the cornerstone of individual liberty. The private sector and free market principles are the best to stimulate economic development, not government programs. We believe revenues collected at all state levels of government should be used only for well-defined, legitimate government functions and should be carried out efficiently so that tax rates may be kept as low as possible. We believe in the right of every parent to act in their child's best interests, including health decisions and choosing the form of education, whether at a public or private school, or education by other means. We believe in welcoming immigrants who want to legally seek freedom and opportunity, work, and embrace our values, learn the English language, and respect our union's borders and states' sovereignty. In supporting and maintaining a strong national defense and advocate peace through strength. We believe the Republican Party is the best vehicle for translating these ideals into positive and successful principles of government. We believe that we are to function as a constitutional republic with undefined state power as described in the Constitution, where Oklahoma's sovereignty is considered constitutionally superior to a federal government. Section 1, Family. The preamble. We believe God is the author and creator of human life beginning at conception, and that each individual created in his image should be treated with dignity and compassion. We hold to the fundamental principles of traditional marriage ordained by God between one biological man and one biological woman, which are determined at conception. The right of life beginning at conception all the way to natural death and religious freedom for all. We insist that any candidate receiving money and or support from the Republican Party shall affirm and promote traditional marriage and the sanctity of life values. Marriage, children, and adoption. We believe that the family is the cohesive element that maintains social order and protects individual rights. The duty and privilege of nurturing our young people belongs to parents and the traditional family. We believe employers and taxpayers should not be forced to violate their religious convictions or bear the cost of paying government benefits to non-traditional marriages. We believe children are a special gift from God, and their safety and protection are paramount. We support strict adherence to due process of law during child abuse investigations. We believe extended traditional family members should be eligible for foster care payments if a child is being placed into their foster care. Siblings should be kept together if possible. These payments should be obtained from the negligent parents. We believe that there are only two sexes or genders, male and female, determined at conception. We believe that any person performing or assisting someone under 18 years of age in obtaining a sex change operation or alteration to the reproductive organs be guilty of interfering in the reproductive rights of the child, extreme mutilation of the child, and of extreme child abuse on a felony level. We support the sole right and responsibility of parents to rear, educate, discipline, nurture, provide health care, and spiritually train their children without government interference. We support the complete abolishment of Child Protective Services and the Department of Human Services. We encourage an adoption process that recognizes the rights of parents while maintaining safeguards for their children. We support initiatives that encourage adoption. We support abolition of preborn baby murder as a non-negotiable principle in our party's platform. We support the right of state and local government to prohibit displays of a sexual nature, including pride parades and drag shows, in view of the public regardless of public or private property. We oppose the removal of children from responsible family members unless abuse is confirmed or the child is in immediate danger. Part B, right to life and medical ethics. We believe that at the point of conception, including in vitro fertilization, a person is granted the rights guaranteed in the U.S. Constitution. Therefore, civil authorities have a duty before God to uphold justice by establishing equal protection under the law for all preborn children. We believe in the sanctity and value of human life from conception through natural death, unless forfeited by capital offense. We believe intentional preborn baby murder is contrary to the word of God and is murder according to Exodus 23:7. We support a U.S. constitutional amendment protecting the life of the innocent preborn, and we support a state constitutional amendment to prohibit preborn baby murder and treat as murder the sale, distribution, and ingestion of abortifacients, ending the life of a preborn child. We support the freedom of conscience and the right for those in the medical field to refuse to provide preborn baby murder training, and the individual's right to refuse to perform or assist in elective preborn baby murders or reproductive interventions. We support the right of employers and private or religious entities who oppose covering preborn baby murder, contraception, and sex or gender dysphoria treatment in employee insurance policies. We support and believe in the father's parental rights and responsibilities from conception onward. The rights and responsibilities of the father are equal to the rights and responsibilities of the mother. We support abstinence outside of marriage and written parental approval before a minor is given birth control information or contraceptives. We support legislation that prohibits using any preborn child for harvesting or any service related to the donation, purchase, or sale of organs or tissue. We support the enactment of laws banning embryonic fetal stem cell research and encourage adult stem cell, amniotic stem cell, or umbilical cord blood stem cell research. We support the elimination of all 5G technology. We oppose preborn baby murder, euthanasia, mercy killings, embryonic stem cell research, cloning, and distribution of cloned parts. We oppose the funding of such by any government entity, domestic or international, or any organization that supports preborn baby murder. We oppose any medical scientific experimentation that does not respect the sanctity of human life. We oppose the manufacture of human life through the process of cloning or genetic engineering. We oppose allowing minor children to identify as anything other than human beings, i.e. furries. Addendum. Be it resolved that the abolition of preborn baby murder be brought to a full floor vote in the Oklahoma legislature. Part C, healthcare. We believe that no person shall have nourishment and or water withheld unless that individual has signed a written legal directive. Hospitals and healthcare professionals shall not be required to violate their conscience by participating in end-of-life procedures. We support the patient-doctor relationship and oppose nationalized medicine. We support full consumer access to safe foods, medications, and alternative treatments, including access to all information regarding such substances. We support privatization of the Social Security, Disability, Medicare, and Medicaid programs, and allowing individuals, private groups, and small businesses the freedom to form collective purchasing groups for the purpose of acquiring the health care of their choice. We support the development of a truly market-driven healthcare delivery system that replaces the employer and governmental third-party payment systems. We support an individual's right to elect not to have health insurance. We support medical savings accounts and health savings accounts that also allow the individual freedom of choice in services both traditional and alternative. These accounts should be made available to Medicare participants. We support and encourage rigorous enforcement of all anti-pornography, obscenity, and human trafficking laws. We must enact and enforce laws to protect all peoples from this immoral business and enforce the death penalty for traffickers and perpetrators. We support parents' rights, religious freedom, and the absence of affirmation therapy concerning any counseling of children on gender dysphoria so that children are encouraged to settle into their birth sex as they naturally experience puberty and maturity. We support price transparency in healthcare costs and billing processes. We support the right of every citizen to determine if they will receive a vaccination, medication, experimental drug, or therapeutic without force or coercion. We oppose the practice of using puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones, and surgeries on children with gender dysphoria, as these can impose irreparable damage physically, mentally, and emotionally, and should be considered child abuse and medical malpractice. Part D, elderly and vulnerable. We support the protection of those who cannot defend themselves, including the preborn, the physically and or cognitively disabled, and the elderly. We support vigorous prosecution of those who financially exploit or otherwise abuse the elderly or vulnerable. We support and encourage family members to care for their loved ones, and we support tax policies that help alleviate costs. We support financial policies that do not penalize the elderly who choose to marry or remarry. We support reasonable standards which preserve the dignity of the elderly and vulnerable when in a retirement or nursing home. Part E, religious freedom. We believe our founding fathers based our Constitution, Declaration of Independence, Bill of Rights, and laws on the Bible and on traditional Judeo-Christian ethics and values. We believe these documents are the basis for law, order, and behavior, allowing individuals, including government workers and officials, the freedom to involve God in all activities, including to their conscience. We believe the religious clause of the First Amendment was meant to protect an individual's freedom of religion, not remove religion from public life. We believe church leaders have the same freedom of speech rights as leaders of other organizations, without the threat of penalties, including the loss of tax-exempt status. We support retaining the religious significance of national holidays and the display of religious symbols in public places and oppose the removal of such. We strongly support federal and state legislation to encourage and preserve inscriptions in or on public buildings and on our currency that have references to God, such as "In God We Trust," the Ten Commandments, and the phrase "One Nation Under God" in the Pledge of Allegiance. We support programs, including faith-based organizations that promote traditional marriage, marriage enrichment, abstinence education, and encourage responsible parenting. We oppose any government oversight, harassment, licensing, or taxation of religious institutions, chaplains, and their ministries, such as counseling, wedding ceremonies, funerals, or other liturgical practices. We oppose all efforts that violate religious liberty and freedom of conscience by mandating that religious entities, employers, and individuals buy insurance coverage for sterilization and contraceptives, including drugs that induce preborn baby murder. We oppose the granting of special protection or legal status to any person based upon sexual preference or lifestyle choices. Addendum. We support and call for individuals, families, churches, and private organizations to take responsibility in meeting the needs of the citizens of the community. This concludes the reading of the first section entitled Family. The next section we'll cover will begin with education.